Howdy gang, Chris here, and this video I'm going to be doing something different, sharing with you guys what marketing is going to be looking like as of 2025 and beyond. All right, so I got my notes. So first things first, when we're looking at marketing 2025, when it comes to paid ads, your money's not going to get as much as you were getting before. Now, the main reason for this is like anything else, when there's more people coming into a space, there's more demand, but there's not enough supply, price is going to go up. And what I mean by this is everybody knows about running ads on Google, running ads on Facebook, and the trend that's been happening year over year is on Google especially, costs of keywords have gone nothing but up because now that they have everybody, they can start jacking up the rates. It's business. We all would want to complain about it, but if we had the opportunity, we would all do it too. And when it comes to Facebook, similar things. They already have everybody on Facebook. They're not really acquiring more users. So now when we're all bidding ads for the same demographic of people, it's going to be a matter of just the price going up and who's willing to pay more of the price for it. So I look at it very much like sports. There's certain sports where if you have enough money to withstand long enough, you'll be the one picked for Olympics. If not, best of luck to you. So when we're looking at paid ads, this doesn't mean don't run paid ads anymore if you have somebody doing it. It's just a matter of you may not get as much of a return as you did years past. The other thing is SEO is going to get a whole lot more challenging. So the days of SEO where it's just a matter of writing a blog and running off on things isn't going to work as great. Now, this is depending on the type of business you're in. Like if you're e-commerce, SEO is still going to be crucial because you got technical parts of your site, you got content that needs to be created, and you got many moving parts that allows your brand and your site to maintain. If you're a local service business and you're doing something that requires often people using Google Maps, the classic things of writing blogs may not just cut it anymore. If you're local, what I would say the most important thing for you to spend time on is your Google business profile, which is essentially your yellow pages, which is essentially your Instagram, which is also your storefront, depending on what you're offering. Like if you look at menus, sometimes you could order on there. But the reason I bring that up is your Google business profile is the gateway for Google to understand what your site is about and what your business and brand is about. The most important part in that, what I just said, is what your brand is about. So people are looking for your services in their maps. They want to see who's the posting most frequently, who has the most reviews. And as much as most reviews is crucial, the only thing, like as much as that is important, other things important is you constantly posting updates, sharing videos and images of what's going on in your business, what changes have you done, client success stories, things and so on, things like that. When it comes to B2B, SEO is still going to be important because you need to have a technically sound site so that Google understands. And also it's going to be important for content marketing. Now, I'm going to dive in a bit deeper into local SEO afterwards. The other thing that's going to be changing the game for marketing is AI. If you've been living under a rock or you just don't know, AI is this tool that's come out and made people's lives easier, people like my life easier, but also some would say it's brought down the price of certain parts of marketing, like content marketing for some people. But I just see it as the cream rises to the top. But when I talk about AI, is that people are using tools like ChatGPT and Perplexity to do their searches first and their research first. So what that means is people are no longer going directly to Google to do their research, which ties into the thing I mentioned before, where just writing blogs and SEO is not going to cut it anymore. People are going to these AI tools to get a deeper understanding of what they're looking for, understand what their problem is, and once they figure that out, they're then going Google to type in your brand name to find, I've done my research, you're the brand that shows up, you're the brand I'm trusting, I am going to you. You're going to hear the word brand repeated throughout this entire video because if this would be called anything, is marketing in 2025 and beyond is all about branding. So when it comes to AI search, it's not just that, but also people with AI are able to have conversations with it. So when we're talking about conversations is the AI able to understand the words on your page or the words on your Google business profile, the words on your social media? AI is even going into your YouTube videos and pulling out transcripts to understand what you're talking about, what your brand is talking about. So if I'm looking for who is the best plumber in Vancouver, or who is the best gym in Montreal, or who is the best person to fix a plumbing leak in my basement, whatever the case may be, we want to make sure that your brand shows up and your name shows up by you having spoken about these things. So you may be the best, but if you're not mentioned anywhere online, Google and the AI searches are gonna have no faith in your brand because you're not mentioned anywhere. Who are you? You're pretty much a ghost online. You may be a king in your local area, which is obviously crucial. It's how you made it this far. But when it comes to playing the digital game online, it's about getting your brand presence spread across the entire internet. Now, as I mentioned, brand is key. So I'm talking about brand. When it comes to brand, we're not talking about getting as big as like Nike, Adidas, or as AT&T, or as Manchester United. What we're talking about branding is your company name mentioned throughout the internet? So for most of you watching this, obviously Instagram, obviously your Google business profile, obviously your website. Some of you are going to have even done some citations and listing pages in the past in certain directories. All those are like the bare bones fundamentals that everybody has. But then you have to go above and beyond. Where else are you mentioned? Are you mentioned on a local Little League's baseball site because you helped sponsor an event? Are you mentioned with your local hospital because you did some sort of charity event with them? Are you mentioned on the business bureau page? Are you mentioned on the local news like MTL blog or Van City or Nar City or anything of that sort? So when it comes to brand, it's not just about doing marketing for the sake of running ads and getting money coming in, but it's also just doing branding in the sense of people need to know who your business is and what your business is about. And when it comes to businesses of this size, whether it's small or medium, unless you're Nike, you don't need to be watching this video. You got people doing other things for you. But when it comes to anybody else, people buy from people. When it comes to marketing, when it comes to branding, the reason I'm doing this video is branding is that we buy from people we trust. And unless we're Nike and Apple with a tremendous amount of trust that our logo is enough to build trust in people, we need to get in front of a camera. And now when I talk about camera, and that means video. And that's another point I got on my list. And in 2025 and beyond, or I could even say even since 2018, video is king. And the reason video is king is that video is the one great easiest way that you can't fake it. Although there's AI videos coming out, that's a different conversation I'm not going to start. But with video, people get to see your personality, get to see who you are, they get to bond, they get to build a relationship with you over time. Now, I'm not saying that when you're doing video, it has to be fully decked out with the proper lighting, the best sound system. You have to be a professional. Just start. Like, honestly, when it comes down to things, it's just a matter of just starting, getting things out there. Because 2 years from now, you're going to be happy that you started when you did, and you're only going to get better. It's like anything. If you're a plumber, if you're a mechanic, if you're a coach, if you're an athlete, if you're a massage therapist, when you started, you were trash. But you fast forward 3, 4, 5 years later, you're that much better at that skill. And all video recording is a skill, practice. And when it comes to video recording, just the easiest things to start off with are what are the top 5 questions you get asked every day by clients. Other things you could record is just you doing your work. Like I work digital, I'm on a screen. Me record my screen isn't too fun. It's not the most exciting thing, but if you're in a gym, if you're in a massage therapist, if you're doing roofing, if you're doing plumbing, if you're doing HVAC, if you're doing some sort of construction, you can record tools you're using, how you're getting, explain why you're getting the job done, the way you're getting it done. I spent time watching video of a guy explaining how he built fences and sets up fences for homes. Never knew that was a thing, but I learned something new there. There's a dude who has a video on plumbing. You see him in the basement crawling and just recording what he does for the job. People are curious to know who you are, what you're doing, and how you could help them. And if I got a particular problem, like I got a knot in my back or I got a particular leak, I'm going to try to solve the problem myself. So I'm going to find a video of somebody explaining me that. I'm obviously going to fail. And then I'm like, you know what? If this guy's in my local business, I'm going to call this person to solve that problem for me. Because of all the videos I saw, you were the one who seemed the most competent, the person who I seemed to have trusted the most. And now I want to call you and give you the business because I tried and I failed. And I'm sure for many of you in the service business, you've had people come in who've tried doing things themselves and have obviously failed. So the other reason I say video is king is as much as it may seem daunting at first, it requires the least effort. I'm sitting on a couch now doing this. I'm not doing the whole studio with the lights and everything. What I mean by less effort is compared to sitting down in front of a page and thinking about what you want to write and getting writer's block. With video, you could leave all your mistakes in there. If you want to be perfectionist, you could go in and edit it, but you don't have to go that far. But the other benefit of video is the one medium where you could repurpose that into many different formats. You could go from video to blog. You could go from video to newsletter. You could go from video to social media posts. You can go from video to breaking down different snippets for more video clips. So one video could render you 5 to 12 different shorter pieces of repurposed content. So if you do 12 clips and each 12 clips gets you, we'll say 10 other pieces of content, that's 120 clips. And that's more than one a week for the rest of the year. So you can bank that out ahead of time or just spread it out. But the reason also for video is that it's much easier for you to get your information out through words than it is through text. As much as you may be a wordsmith, no one's really trying to read a 3,000 word page. But the main benefit, again, is you could repurpose this content, whether it's not you or you could hire someone else for you. Video will make your life easier in the long run. If you're rushing between jobs and you're in your truck, pop your phone out, explain the job you just completed, explain how you completed the job, what the problem of the job was, how you came up with your solution, how you executed that solution, and how happy the client was. That's an easy video to do if you got 5 jobs a day, whether you're outside doing plumbing, construction, or anything like that, or you're working in a gym or you're working in a massage clinic. Just explain how you help solve a client's patient or a client's problem, why you did it, how the results came out, and how they're feeling better. And that's an easy clip for you to do. You can do that 3 times a week, and you got 3 clips going. So again, it's not about making things perfect. It's just about getting those repetitions in over and over again. I gotta cut this video short. The other thing is knowing your audience. You need to know where your audience is spending time. When we're talking about knowing your audience, I think the masterclass of this would be the presidential elections. And the reason I say masterclass is if you compare Trump's campaign to Kamala's campaign, it's not a market, it's not a political video, is that Trump's message was talking to people who were upset with the economy, who were upset they didn't have enough money, were complaining about food prices were high. And most of these people were not listening to the media that was gaslighting them, telling them everything's great. They went to alternative media like podcasts to listen to people that were telling them, like, hey, we understand things are tough. We want things to change. This is why things are bad right now. Those people were spending time on podcasts, and that's where he spent his time. And when we talk about video, another great example of why video is king, Joe Rogan does a podcast, which is audio podcast, but then he also does a video version of that podcast and uploads it. And to date, the Trump podcast interview he did 2 months ago now ranks as the second most viewed video. The other videos in the top eight are 8 years old, 7 years old, 6 years old with 30 million views, 20 million views, 40 million views. Trump's at 52 something million views, ranking in position 2 in 2 months. Now, there's a reason Joe Rogan's also leveraging video because as much as audio is great, you're in the car, you can listen to it, people also want to see the interactions. The reason we have eyes, we like to look at things, we like to see things, we all watch movies and clips. So when we're talking about recording videos, it's not a matter of making things perfect. Joe Rogan set up a simple two dudes sitting, well, him in front of a microphone at a desk. Nothing fancy, no crazy editing. It's just him talking for 3 hours, and people watch that for 3 hours. I'm not saying you gotta make a 3 hour video. I'm running at 11. I'm gonna try to cut this short. And the final thing I gotta say is, again, if you're a local business, focus on your Google business profile. That's a lot of That's a great place for you to spend your time. You could do postings there regularly, upload videos, upload images, fill out the entire profile. You could run ads on there as well. That's a quick way for you to not bulletproof, but help protect you in the future to come. But outside of all that, the biggest thing is things are going to start changing. It's going to be a little bit more uncomfortable as a business owner. It's going to take a bit more sweat equity. The days of just paying an agency to do all the work for you, that's behind us. They're still going to need to do some work, but that work's going to be heavily dependent on you getting in front of a screen, your team getting in front of a screen, building those personal P2P relationships, person-to-person relationships through the screen, through video, and sharing the passion you have for what you're doing through video because people want to buy from people who love what they do, who are good at what they do, and people who they connect with. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below or contact me directly back through the link in the comment below or email me directly. But this is just a little heads up of what's coming in 2025 and beyond. And again, in the world, we want to be Netflix. We don't want to be Blockbuster. Let's adapt or get left behind. Peace.